What's going on, everybody? Back again today to do sort of a response video to my video I uploaded 2 days ago about DC Multiverse, the toy line from McFarlane Toys. And I guess the thing is, like, I put that video up, and within 2 days it had 400 views. Like, I'm not bragging for that's it's impressive for me, and I was happy about it, but it's only 400 views, but still. And I got a lot of negative feedback on that video, like I knew I was going to, but there were a number of people that agreed with me and they agreed with what I was saying. But I do feel that my message got a little misconstrued in that video. Maybe it was just because I was ranting and raving so much that it was hard to focus on the point I was really trying to make. So I'll try to clarify that a little bit here. And it's actually funny because the day after I posted that video, I went to a toy show and bought a bunch of new stuff, and my video is up on the channel showing off the new stuff that I got at the toy show. And two of the new figures I bought there were DC Multiverse figures. I found the John Stewart Green Lantern figure, and I got the Damian Wayne Robin. And so with that, I think some clarification needs to be made. I'll admit here wholeheartedly, every single figure in that line in and of itself is a high quality collectible action figure. The painting is great, the sculpting is great, the articulation is great, the quality control is great. In and of themselves, the figures are good. And the two topics that I touched on most in that video, where I was just shitting all over the toy line, was waves of figures that I don't give a shit about, which I guess I wasn't clear enough that, like, that is just my opinion. I mean, if you're smart, you understood that that's my opinion. You know what I mean? I do personally think that those waves like the White Knight wave, the Last Knight on Earth wave, and also for me the Dark Knight's Metal and Dark Knight's Death Metal waves, I don't care about those. I don't want any of those, and I haven't bought any of those. I did buy the Grim Knight just because he looks pretty cool. But mainly I bought the Grim Knight because I was kind of hoping I could do a head swap. I could take the Grim Knight's just normal looking Batman head and put it on the Arkham Asylum Batman body and have that kind of just be like a normal comic book Batman, because the Arkham Knight costume, while it is a little like it's a little video game armory kind of looking, it still is a pretty just traditional Batman costume. So I was kind of like, if I could put this head on the Arkham Asylum Batman, I would have a pretty traditional comic book Batman that would be way better than the Wave 1 Batman we got. Long story short, it didn't work. I swapped the heads and it looked weird, so it doesn't work. And I still just have Grim Knight just displayed on my shelf with the other multiverse figures that I have. And he is cool looking. I don't really care about those storylines, but once again, my personal opinion, my big and for those of you who do like those, you do like the White Knight figures, you do like the Last Knight on Earth figures, you do like the Death Metal and Dark Knight's Metal figures. Fine, totally great. This line's kicking ass for you then, and that's totally fine. I just think that it's a waste because I would rather just get new characters, like just typical DC characters, so I can start building up the shelf full of the entire DC roster. That's what I want. The point of the video, though, where I felt the thing that I was upset about, and I thought I would get more positive feedback from, was the bullshit variants that he does, especially for figures that were not very popular to begin with. I watched a couple of people's top 10, top 5 list from this toy line, and you know, the top 10 and top 5 somewhat varied person to person, but there were certain figures in the line that were just in no one's top 10, top 5 lists. And it just so happens that those are some that we're getting the most variants of. Like, no one's top 10, top 5 had any of the gold or bronze figures in it. No one's top 10 or top 5 had the Wave 1 Batman in it, or the variant. No one's top 10 or top 5 had the animated universe Batman or Superman in it, or the variant Batman from that. So, and those, some of those are the ones that he gives us the variants of. Like for the Wave 1 Batman, we got the Detective Comics 1000, and then we also got the classic more cartoony blue, bright blue and gray version. And it's like, no one even liked the first one. What made you think you just put this new paint scheme on it? The head's still too small. The way you cut the abdominal joint is weird. It's still the same figure. You just put a even worse paint scheme on it. And then with the, what was it? The animated universe Batman, same deal. Like I think I said in the video, it's like DC Collectibles, DC Direct, they do DC animated universe figures, and they're far superior to what McFarlane is doing. So it's like no one really cares about these either, but you're giving us these bullshit variants. The Arkham Batman and Joker that just have the green paint on them. Like, who cares? Who gives a shit? And then the solid gold, not solid gold. It's not solid gold. That I would buy it if it was solid gold. The painted gold or bronze Batman and Deathstroke and Joker. Like, who gives a shit? Like, it's just this bullshit that they try to pull where it's solid. I keep saying solid gold. It's painted gold, so it's unique. And I think for the gold and bronze ones, it says somewhere on the package like only 3,000 produced. So that makes it even more limited and rare. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to break it down. There's 3 types of people that are buying those bullshit variants, especially the gold and bronze ones. There's the first kind. And these are the kind I can respect the most. They are completionists. When they collect a toy line, they want to complete it and collect all of it. That's cool. As a collector myself, I can understand someone who wants to complete a collection. Everyone has their own definition for completing a collection. And for some people, it's the very typical definition of, I will buy every figure in this line. Totally cool, totally fine. The second type of people that are buying these bullshit variants are the ones that the only reason they're buying them is to do a fucking YouTube video about them. Whether it's a unboxing or a review or a toy hunt, and I'm going to get on that in a second. They're just buying it so they can do a video of it and get some views online on their YouTube channel. I would personally rather just do a video talking about how fucking stupid they are and get whatever views I get for that, rather than paying my money and buying the figure. Although a lot of these toy reviewers, like, they get up there in popularity on YouTube and they have enough subscribers, the toy companies are just sending them the figures for free. So they're like, hey man, here's a free figure, say some good shit about it. No, I'm not gonna do that. Not if they suck. I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, they'll buy them to make a YouTube video of it, and then how do I I'm not even gonna try and be nice. Like the toy hunting videos. I've seen this become a huge popular thing on YouTube, and it's just laughable. Like, no judgment against the people making the toy hunt videos. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, if it's something that's gonna get views and people are gonna watch it regularly and subscribe to your channel because you videotape yourself shop, like, get the views, dude. Do you, man? Go for it. Film yourself shop every day and get the views, get the subscriptions. But to the people out there who are watching these, like, you spend hours at a time sitting at your computer or you're on your phone watching people shop. Oh my God, that's the most pathetic, sad thing I've ever heard in my life. It's just you trying to live vicariously through these other people who they can afford to go and do these massive toy hunts, so they spend all this money willy-nilly, and, like, cool, they got it like that, they've got the money, they can do it. And, like, another thing is, like, a lot of people have successfully managed to turn their, like, YouTube channels and stuff into it's a hobby. It's a YouTube channel about their hobby, but they're also able to make somewhat of a profit off of it monetarily. And so that kind of, like, covers the cost of their hobby. And now they get to have their hobby, which is figure collecting or whatever the hell it is, and they get to do it for free. So in a lot of senses, it's like these people doing these toy hunt videos, they're either just wealthy, they have the money like that to do it, or it's not costing them anything because they're going to make the money right back through YouTube and the video of it. So they did it for free. But you people out there, I used to be like this. When I was like 16, 17 years old and I got into collecting Marvel Legends, the number one figure that everyone talked about was the Marvel Legends, I believe it was Series 6 Deadpool. And I was just like, I took that, like, everyone was talking about that. And I saw everyone's video on YouTube was like, oh, I got one for display outside the package. I got one mint on card. And it was like $120 figure on eBay. And I just thought to myself, like, that is the staple and the sign of a true toy collector. You've got these figures, these ones that are super hard to find and they're super rare and everyone's talking about them. You got to have those in your collection to be a real collector. And my dumb ass paid the money, and I think over my entire life I've owned two. I have purchased two mint on card Toy Biz Series 6 Deadpools from Marvel Legends, and I own neither of them anymore because I realized over time, I was like, I don't really even like this figure that much. Hasbro started making more Deadpools that I liked way more, and I was just like, yeah, I do not like this Toy Biz Deadpool with these blocky spherical shoulders, and yeah. So I sold them, and I will never go back to that. Like, letting shit I see online and shit other people tell me determine how I feel as a collector. So you're just sitting there and you're watching you're watching people shop. Like, oh my fucking god. You're watching people shop and they're going through the toy aisles just like, oh, the gold Batman. Only 3,000 of them ever produced, and you're watching this going, oh, that sounds like something a real collector would be after. Oh, I want to be a real collector. I better buy one too. And then you go hunting for it, and you spend your money on this dumb shit. Like, where in your collection? Like I said, if you're a completionist and you're just displaying somewhere in your display area in your home or whatever, and you're just displaying the toy line, DC Multiverse, the toy line from McFarlane Toys, and you just want to display all of them, then sure, it fits in there because it's part of the toy line. But if you're like me, where you just have a DC shelf and you just want to get as many of the characters as possible, you just want one solid version of the character, then where the fuck does this gold one fit in? You know what I mean? Like, it would, if I had the entire roster of DC characters on the shelf, and then just but instead of a traditional looking Batman, I just plopped down the gold one. People who came in and saw my collection would be like, why is Batman gold? Like, all these other characters are in their normal costumes. Why is Batman gold? So if you're a completionist and you just want to collect the whole thing, cool. But the other two type of people, the ones that are buying them just to make a fucking video, especially a fucking shopping video, a video of them shopping. Holy shit. Oh my god. And you guys, you realize, like, I'm not saying that I know specific people fake those videos, but you gotta understand how easy it would be to fake. You know what I mean? Like, you could get one offline, hold off opening it out of the box, take it with you into Target, and just stick it on the shelf, and then start your video and be like, I found it. Like, it would be so easy to fake. And the fucked up thing is that, like, it gets views. So there's their motivation to fake it right there. Like, if it's gonna get me views and get me subscribers and increase the popularity of my channel, which funds my hobby, then they're gonna do it. So I'm not saying I know for sure that specific people fake it. I'm just saying, if there was a gun to my head and someone was like, do you or do you not believe some of them are faking it? I would 100%, I'd be like, yeah, some of them are faking it. I'm calling it right now. I will risk my life for that. Some of them are probably faking it. But hey, I mean, shit. Like I said, no judgment against the people making them. Do you, bud, get those views. But for those of you who are sitting around watching these people shop and watching these people do unboxings and stuff and letting that affect what you want to buy, I think that's a good portion of the people that buy the bullshit variants. They see other collectors, real collectors on YouTube buy the gold variant or the green paint Joker Batman variant, and they're just like, the real collectors on YouTube are collecting them, I gotta collect them too. You don't. Stop, take a minute, pump the brakes, ask yourself, do I really give a shit? Now, by all means, if you answer that question, you go, yeah, I give a shit, I kind of want those, then get them. For sure, go get them. But please do yourself that favor of just chilling out for a second and ask yourself, do I really want these? Do I really want them to display and have in my collection? Or do I just want them because I see a bunch of other people buying them and talking about them, and it's kind of like the thing right now? Because if that's the reason you really want them, that's a terrible reason. You should not spend your money on it. So yeah. Oh man. That's my biggest thing is the bullshit variants, the bullshit costume variations, the splatter some green paint on it and re-release the figure, and the what is it, the gold and bronze shit. Like that's my real big problem with the toy line is that stuff. And like think about it, like think about like how many more cool, like I said, all the figures turn out nice for the most part. So think of how many really nice figures of other DC characters that we all love if instead of doing these bullshit variants he had just said let's do new characters. With the line would be so much better off. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I would say leave some comments below. Let me know what you guys think. But you all did a very good job of that in the first video. So I mean, leave some if you want, but I don't really care. Yeah, take that for what you will. And I'll see you guys later, I guess.